there is a lot more riding on this film for Disney than Superman for Warner Brothers. I'm telling you now, because of the long-term risk. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. If this thing finishes up at $500 million, $550 even, under $600, there's going to be a whole lot of puckered buttholes in very short order at Marvel, and Wall Street's going to start figuring out that there's nothing on the horizon. Renegade Online. This, to me, y'all talk about Man of Steel all you want, and I get it. It is a valid comparison.
Valiant, I want to look at Man of Steel because Man of Steel is going to do better when you adjust for inflation.
We know, and that's cool. We've talked about it. I think this is the more relevant comparison this year because these two superhero films, Superman and Fantastic Four, both in 2025, both in a post-COVID theatrical world, and by that specifically, I mean the exhaustion from the crappiness of Marvel for the last 5 years. The absolute crap of Marvel. Oh, but Valiant, this movie's good. Okay. Again, I'm more of a normie than I am a fanatic when it comes to Marvel. I'm telling you, I'm totally disinterested in these films. The box office of the last 5 years bears out that most people out there in the general audience are also fatigued with bad Disney product. It doesn't really matter at this point how good Fantastic Four is. There is only so much upside that's going to give it because way too many people have totally checked out the building. They've already left the planet. They are in a different multiverse now. They're not interested in anything Marvel anymore. The Fantastic Four first steps expected to be big, with 190 to 210 million global box office opening, a preview. Now, again, for most movies out there, or for something that isn't directly connected or an MCU title or a big franchise, $200 million globally is big. Again, I don't think that $200 million as a global open for a major MCU Disney entry is big. It's not small, but it's not knocking the doors off. And I'm not saying that Superman's $20 million opening was big. It was serviceable, but it was not big. Everybody's real sensitive out there about the Superman topic. Let's read this. More smelling salts at the box office this weekend, which will continue to wake up audiences from superhero fatigue. No. Movie fatigue. They have movie fatigue. Disney movie fatigue. As Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four First Steps is looking to do between 190 and 210 around the world. Well, by gosh, if I'm not mistaken, the low end of that range, 190 million, would put it at about 30 million or so shy of Superman. On the high end of that range at 210, that's still, if I'm not mistaken, about 10 million shy of Superman. That's not looking good, right? This is Disney. This is Marvel. This is supposed to be the quintessential superhero genre right here, right? This is the movie that is going to fix all of Marvel's problems, just like the Thunderbolts was, and just like the 5 movies before that was, and the Marvel show before that, and man, it's like bringing back, hey, does anybody want another Captain Marvel movie?
How long will you play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
No! Look, I said this before. I think Disney this week is seeing these projections, if these projections are accurate, which it's deadline. They're usually very good with this. Short of, oh man, nobody saw this coming. The walk-up traffic was stupid. Think Minecraft or something like that. Completely different situation than this. This is Marvel. This is a known quantity when it comes to how audiences behave, okay? And the audience behavior for Marvel films has been overwhelmingly consistent in the last 5 years. Disney is probably not happy with this. If this movie, if Fantastic Four comes in and does this number, if it does under 200 million globally, there is going to be some major embarrassment at the Walt Disney Company. If this thing does 200 or 210, there is still going to be some embarrassment at Disney. Right now, I promise you, all Disney cares about is we have to make more money opening weekend than Superman. And as of right now, according to Deadline, that is not going to happen. That's a problem for Kevin Feige. That's a problem for Bob Iger. And yes, this movie could surprise audiences, and the audience reaction to it could be very positive. But again, this is a little bit different situation when it comes to Marvel. There was a lot of quote-unquote positive audience reaction to, allegedly, Thunderbolts. Didn't matter. Audiences just reflexively don't care. Most audiences that make these movies financially successful or financial disasters do not reside on YouTube. They don't watch me. They don't watch Gary. They don't watch Tuesday Night Main Event on Geeks and Gamers. They're not watching Critical Drinker. Most audiences out there just see, oh, there's another this movie. Oh, there's a this movie coming out. And they make a decision right there. Am I going to go see this or not? And the answer overwhelmingly for Marvel in the last 5 years has been pass. Good reviews on this are probably not going to do a whole lot. Not saying nothing, but are not going to do a whole lot to probably change its prospects. It would be far more surprising to see this movie overperform on a leg out than virtually any other movie out there. Because Marvel has a very, very predictable pattern. By day 5 to day 6, we usually have about half of the entire box office in the till. That's even when movies come out in February, like Captain Falcon DEI. You know, that movie finished up a little over $400 million. Thunderbolts finished up under $400 million. I think Fantastic Four will, and at least should, do better than Captain Falcon DEI. But I don't think it's going to do radically better. If this movie opens up with, let's split the difference and say if Fantastic Four opens up with 200 million globally or right thereabout, put it in that range, 190 to 210, anywhere in there, that's fine. At most, I would say this movie is probably going to enjoy roughly a 2.5 set of legs for the whole box office. So if it opens at 200, that means that probably $500 million is its top end. Even if it gets to 3x past that, it's going to $600 million. That's still not great for this Marvel franchise because, again, here's the difference. This is the problem. This is why, in the long term, Superman has less riding on it than Fantastic Four. Valiant, you're crazy. Listen to me. They've already got other movies planned. They're building something up over there at Warner Brothers. They're starting from ground zero and they're building up. We may not all like the direction they're going in. I get it. I'm strictly looking at the money side of things. On Marvel, obviously, this is a long-established thing, right? They are trying desperately to reinvigorate it. And the next movie up at Warner Brothers is not a $500 million, $750 million, God forbid, $1 billion fiasco. It's another $150 to $200 million, maybe $200 million movie. David Zaslav is known for keeping budgets under control. The next thing that Fantastic Four is feeding into is Doomsday. It is a $500 million, $750 million plus dollar investment. And it's 18 months minimum away. And Kevin Feige is doing an interview the other day talking about how, oh yeah, we brought in, who was it? Michael Waldron to work on the script for Doomsday. And everybody kind of, you heard the slamming car brakes sound in your head right at that point of the interview. And you went, hold up. Are y'all not shooting that? Didn't y'all start shooting that film like a month ago or 2 months ago? and you're bringing in a new head writer to work on the script? What the? It sounds like the same old Kevin Feige process to me. Take spaghetti and a lot of stockholder money, smash them together, and throw it against the wall and let's see what sticks. I told y'all 6 months ago, maybe longer than that there was no way that Avengers Doomsday was coming out in May of 2026. Sure enough, I was right. They pushed it back to Christmas of 26. How much y'all want to start betting me now it ain't coming out Christmas of 26 either? So when I tell you there's a lot more riding on Fantastic Four financially for Disney, not just the film itself in terms of its own internal production and marketing costs, but it's the future of Marvel, because there's literally nothing for the next 18 months at least. Nothing in the theaters coming out for Marvel. Nothing. There's going to be, for the very few people that are going to go see Fantastic Four, what is going to be grabbing these audiences to come back 18 months from now at minimum in Christmas of 26 to go see Doomsday? And they're going to need $1.5 billion, $2 billion probably of box office to justify what they're spending on this monstrosity. It's insane. Very doubtful it's going to happen. Oh, but there's a Spider-Man thing. Didn't they move that back till after Doomsday too? I don't know. I can't even remember any. I can't keep up. But that's Sony, and Spider-Man stands alone, kind of like Batman does. It's a different situation. There is a lot more. There is a lot more riding on this film for Disney than Superman for Warner Brothers. I'm telling you now, because of the long-term risk. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. If this thing finishes up at 500 million, 550 even, under 600, there's going to be a whole lot of puckered buttholes in very short order at Marvel. And Wall Street's going to start figuring out that there's nothing on the horizon for the next year and a half. And the last thing they put out was kind of a dud. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.